Hey there. I wanted to drop by and ask basically, I was watching a live about Kevin Samuels, not a Kevin Samuels live. I've never watched Kevin Samuels live. I probably will never watch Kevin Samuels live because my interest isn't black men. No hard feelings of any sort, but my interest is not black men, so yeah. The thing is, though, I've heard about this guy since December, and I kind of heard of him before then, I guess, because I left a comment on his video back last summer or something like that. At the time, I believe it seemed like his channel or his video that I was watching was not problematic for me. You see, like, for me, and I think a reason for this is my perspective and aspect out of the whole situation. For example, you can see for me, I've had a pass on different live streams. And this actually caused me trouble last year because I was on a live stream once with like these people who were like more anti spoilers. And I was doing the live stream with them because I was agreeing with them on colorism because I agree a lot on colorism with certain people. And then I would be on another person's live chat often in live stream, and she was a swirler. And, I appreciated her content very much. I mean, I watched her content all last year. The other people, I just was on their live, like, a really brief time. But my point is, I kind of have this way of I watch videos where some are from the manosphere and some are from the divested sector. Now, I don't usually watch videos that are like mammy channels. You see, for me, I don't really like the mammies. I don't. There's so many reasons I don't like mammies, okay? I just don't. I don't like mammies. Um, but main reason I wanted to ask this question was I'm just curious, like, does anyone have a video that maybe possibly I don't agree with on Kevin Samuels? Because it's almost like well, stop. Yeah, sorry, she's kinda in my face. But because it's almost like I've watched his videos 4 times in the past year, right? And I've not seen anything that really was a problem to me or offensive to me or an issue to me personally. For me, it's kind of like I don't I don't think it applies to me personally. I'm not a very feminine woman, and I'm not the type who wants to submit to anyone, and I'm not attracted to black men. So, I mean, obviously this doesn't apply to me. Um, but it's kind of like every time people like talk about Kevin Samuels and talk about like what he said or that he tries to drag black women, it's like I don't really find how he is dragging black women. It almost like every situation, the 3 situations. The first one, I actually did a video on that, and I was like defending basically Kevin Samuels because I felt like she's average at best video didn't seem extremely bad to me. I mean, I had nothing against it. And I think the main reason for that is because I'm the same way towards men, you know? And I don't have anything against a man being that way towards a woman. the problem with his channel for me is that he goes under the guise and the idea that women get men off the hook on physical attractiveness and, whether he has children, things like that, because he's got money. Now, most of the women that I've seen that call into the show seem to care about money. So, I mean, for them it is true, but for me personally, I've said this plenty of times, money has never been a thing that I've considered when it comes to a man. I don't think of a man as taking care of me because I think I'm an able adult who can take care of herself. Actually, I am very sure that I am an able adult who can take care of herself. So, I mean, I don't really see the importance of having a man who makes a lot of money. In fact, difference, the financial difference, is going to make me feel uncomfortable. I would like someone who's my equal, honestly, and I guess you could say middle class, working class, somewhere around there. Um, I'm starting out. I'm just starting my career, and things with the whole Corona situation kind of slowed me down. But you know, anyway, enough about me. My point is, I don't understand why people always act like he's so bad. 'Cause, like, the things that he criticizes these women on does not seem so extreme to me. Like, criticizing someone for having children that's father is in prison or, being overweight. These are choices that people have made in their lives. And, I mean, this applies to men and women. Like, for one, a major thing for me is men who are overweight. I don't date men who are overweight. I really don't. And so to me, I'm like, if someone doesn't want to date a woman who's overweight, how would I be judging him for not dating a woman who's overweight? Because I can't date a man who's overweight. You get my point? Like, that's why I'm like, that's not extreme to me. Not wanting to date someone who has kids. I mean, especially when you live a life of freedom, you're not going to be able to relate to someone who's got kids and stuff and is kind of like tied down to somebody else anyway. So that's why, to me, I have a hard time understanding how this guy is really problematic, but I haven't watched all his videos. And I don't seek to watch many of his videos anyway. I mean, if I was, um, maybe I would, if, like, I saw a few clips and I was encouraged to watch the whole thing. But I haven't done that since She's Average at Best, and the other two videos I watched just to get a good feel of what he's been talking about lately, I guess you could say. There's another thing, though. This other person was trying to claim that he said something on abortion, but I never could find out what he actually said on abortion, which, personally, I thought was actually interesting because I'm pro-life myself, so if he said something in regard negatively about abortions, well, I wouldn't obviously have an issue with that. But I was still kind of curious what exactly he said about abortions. But I haven't ever been able to find that information. I mean, like, if I did watch it, it would take forever to finish it. And most of the time, his interviews are very boring for me. No shade, no attack on anybody, it's not like that. I'm just saying, to me, a lot of people bring up a lot of negativity and they all act like, oh my god, it's so terrible what he's saying. Then I always check some of his videos and it's like everything he's saying is just random normal stuff that people talk about with dating. I mean, these are different preferences that he thinks are valuable, and I would say some things are valuable. The thing is, he doesn't have the idea that it applies to men too, you know. So that is just generally like my perception on the whole situation. It's just like weird because to me, everyone who's against him, who talks about all the terrible things he says, it always seems like, well, it doesn't seem like he said anything too terrible. And then when you kind of like watch his channel, to me, it's like I can't say it's something I feel it applies to me personally because I'm not looking for the things he's claiming women are looking for. So then it's like if you are basically saying women want, for example, if he said on his channel, women want a man who's 5 foot with a pot belly and he has a very dark African complexion and he's only speaks Spanish. I'm obviously not going to think this applies to me because I'm not attracted to any of what I just described. So I would obviously think, it's not a channel I watch, but I don't watch it just because it doesn't apply to me. It's not like I'm saying I don't like the guy, which I've said personally, as far as who he is as a person, I feel like he's one of those people who are used to Blackistan, certain ways of life that I'm not used to. And the reason I say that is because, well, you can see some of the time he assumes, like, for example, black women have a certain attitude or things of that nature. Usually, people who assume, like, black women have an attitude also assume black men have a certain behavior as well. Those things apply to basically the stereotype of black men and black women, which comes from basically what they call Blackistan on here, or I called it just the ghetto. But I guess it's called the hood. I don't know what the appropriate word to call it is, but yeah, to me it's like it seems like he's familiar with that more than I personally am. So, I mean, his perspective on everything is just different and something that I feel is no use in me watching. But I don't feel like his content is offensive. And I don't know if that's just because I haven't watched enough videos, but out of the 3 videos I've watched, I can't say there's anything that I feel he said that's extreme. I understand he's against swirlers and divestors. That's a personal opinion, and I mean, like, uh, maybe he's interested. I don't know if he's like, if a black man doesn't appreciate somebody dating interracially, it really doesn't matter as long as they don't put their own personal life in your, life, basically. That's all I care about. So, I don't know. It's just kind of like, it seems like his channel is where he kind of just stays over there on his own. And, some black women, for whatever weird reason, call him. And I mean, like, they call him, I think, for attention, honestly, because I mean, like, if you know how he behaves towards certain things, why would you go on that channel, and be, I guess, embarrassed? I don't really think they are embarrassed, though. I think they want that kind of criticism. And who's to say that that's wrong that they want that criticism? Maybe they can use it for their own good in their lives, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I just, looking at Kevin Samuels' content, I can't say that I've ever been offended by anything that he's said on his videos. Ever. And I guess, in part, I feel like people who are offended by Kevin Samuels, I feel like maybe they're a little insecure and they care too much about what some random black man is saying online. It kind of makes me think, as far as like swirlers and divestors, people who care about that, it's like, okay, if you care about that, then you still care about what black men think. And that's weird to me because, personally, I've never cared what a black man thought of me as far as dating. It's like a girl, basically. If a girl thinks I'm undateable, that's cool. You know, honestly, as far as gaydar goes, a lot of the time it seems like lesbians always know that I like guys. I don't know how they know, but they just do. And I've never been offended by the fact that they know that I'm not dateable for a woman. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's just like, I would really like for somebody to bring forth a video that shows something very offensive from him, pertaining to black women or pertaining to anyone for that matter. Um, it'd just be good to hear, good to see, because I don't get what all the hoopla is about. I really don't. Because nothing has offended me, like I said, that I've watched. And I've watched 3 videos. If he was being offensive, wouldn't he have been offensive at least, and she's average at best? But I didn't think anything was wrong with that video at all. So, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.